in this country, still here. But if they are the Native Americans, part of our basic fabric, they are also in many ways aliens in their own country. Throughout this week, David Hartman is going to be taking us to some of the places where American Indians live and work and struggle to survive now in the 1980s. And David joins us this morning, straightening his jacket and getting ready, which you've done many times in these chairs. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Nice to see you, Charlie.
How many Indians in this country, actually?
About 1.5 million, and about half of those live on reservations. So about 750,000 Indians on about 280 reservations.
280?
Yeah, and over 100 years ago, federal government said, we'll take care of you. Stay on reservations, we'll take care of you. The fact is, the federal government's done an absolutely terrible job of it. And they pump about $3 billion into the Indian community, mostly reservations. And a lot of that money, according to even the Indian leaders, doesn't even get, maybe half of it doesn't even get where it's going. So most of us have this kind of image, either the noble savage, the Indian in the teepee, get on his pinto horse and ride across the hill, or the image of the Indian who is drunk and comes staggering out of a bar someplace and says, give me a check. The reality is just terrible for many Indians, poor, don't have, good health care, and just can't pull themselves up. So we're looking at the reality. Indians now using the court system, court decisions, defining their rights, and looking at new economic opportunity to pull themselves up.
All right, first part of this series, up in the Northwest, right?
Right.
We'll take a look.
Vernon Lane is 57. His life is salmon. He catches it, sells it, barbecues it, smokes it. The 12 Lane kids grew up on salmon. Now his 18 grandchildren are getting a taste for it. It's good. And Vernon's life on the reservation is good. Vernon's a Lummi Indian. Been fishing here in northwest Washington state all of his life. He sells most of the salmon, and thanks to an 1855 treaty between his tribe and the United States government, he's never had to pay any tax on those fish. But now the Internal Revenue Service, the tax people, say that he and other Lummis are going to have to start paying up like everybody else. Vernon, how many generations in your family have been doing this?
Well, 4 that I know of.
It's dawn, chilly, breezy, Puget Sound, right up next to the Canadian border. Vernon lays out a series of nets. It's hard work. He usually does this alone, but this morning he has a little help. Very little.
Oh, I think it'll be a good day.
Indians like Vernon make up about 2% of the people in the state. But 13 years ago, a judge said they were entitled to half the fish from these waters, which they sell tax-free, that old treaty.
We paid our taxes with all the land, these beautiful mountains, these beautiful rivers, beautiful islands that are, the agreement was forever. Holy Christ, hey, the run's on. Holy smokes. Look at them. Oh, my gosh. Boy, that's perfect, isn't it? Praise the Lord, huh?
This is an 1855. The Indians aren't just catching a few fish for dinner in quaint little rowboats. Now they're in business. The Lummis, like tribes all over the country, are using the courts to define and protect their rights, and they're making the most of it in dollars and cents. Tribe members own 35 big commercial fishing boats that catch most of the fish. Last year, salmon alone reportedly brought the Lummis $11 million. Many of them are getting rich.
Oh, this one must weigh 12 pounds. Yeah. We know we can't fight the white man. That was the old people saying that. We got to learn to adapt to the way they live.
Dick Markison is not an Indian. He and other non-Indian fishermen have to play by different rules. They say the government stacked the deck against them, and it's costing them.
Well, the Indians are going to have the same opportunity to go out and earn a living as we are, then they should be able to pay the same share of taxes that we are.
What about the treaty our government signed with the tribe back in 1855?
That treaty wasn't meant for this day and age.
What should happen?
Well, the Indians were all declared citizens back in 1924. That's before I was even born. And everyone born after 1921 was automatically a citizen. So that's the way it should be. They want to use all of our good features, but to hell with the rest. It's that simple. They want all the good things out of the pie, but they don't want to have any of the bad stuff.
This is a sensational day of fishing for Vernon. 200 fish, about $10 each, $2,000. At this lummy processing plant, he'll pay a 6% tribal tax, but no federal or state tax. The IRS wants back taxes from 1978, but there's a bill in Congress right now that would make that tax illegal. Indians all over the country are concerned because if the lummies have to pay a fish tax, then billions of dollars worth of other Indian resources might be taxable. Vernon's family is tight-knit. Most are in the fishing business with bigger and better boats than Vernon's, and even though some live off the reservation, they get the same tax breaks and live very well. The Lanes are the new Indians, firmly planted in the world, but using their tragic past, ironically, to give them an edge.
Anybody in God's world wouldn't give up something that we signed. We're still being paid, I guess, for the land we lost. And it'll never get paid, as far as we're concerned.
Charlie, tomorrow we go to a Montana reservation where most of the people on the reservation are non-Indians. The tribe has some jurisdiction. The non-Indians say, hey, you're violating our rights. You won't let us participate.
David, thank you very much.
Let's do, Charlie.